We're at Monument Lake Campground today in the middle of Big Cypress National Preserve. I'm going to give you an overview of what this little campground offers. There are 8 campgrounds within Big Cypress National Preserve. 1 is group camping only, 2 that require backcountry permits, and 5 that are front country. We chose Monument Lake Campground near Ochopee, Florida due to its somewhat central location to all the features we wanted to visit in the Big Cypress and Everglades region. As you enter the campground, there is a stone monument to the right that is the site of a conference between several local governments and the Seminole Indians that took place in 1936, during which the Seminoles simply told the Florida government to, quote, "just leave us alone." To this day, there are several Native American villages and reservations just a few miles away from the campground along Highway 41. As you enter the campground, you'll notice a very large satellite antenna tower off to the right. So for those who are worried about cell service, you get a pretty good signal out here. As you enter the campground, the information kiosk is here in the front. All about the Big Cypress National Preserve, the history of the area, and a campground map. It is a one-way loop road. You turn left, going clockwise. So a reminder of speed limit 15. No pets allowed here because of potential for alligator attacks. A reminder to not feed or approach the alligators. A little information on alligator safety. Do not feed or harass. Do not approach. Pretty simple. Monument Lake Campground is only open from August 15th through April 15th to avoid the hottest months of the year. The campground features 26 RV sites and 10 tent sites, but there are no hookups for electric, sewer, or water, and no dump station. There is a potable water spigot near the modern restroom, which does also feature running water, flush toilets, and a shower. RV sites are currently $28 a night, and tent sites are $24. For those with dogs, there are at least 2 areas allowed to walk your pets. Here we're approaching the first of 2 restrooms. This is by far the nicer one, here in the middle of the western side of the campground. These have full flushing restrooms, running water, and 1 shower. I can attest that the showers are cold at first, but if you give it a minute, it does warm up. To the north side of the nicer restrooms here, you have the campground host. That's where you would be checking in. Just past the campground hosts, to the left, we have a mini loop for the tent camping only area. This is where we have spent our week. Back there was our site, along with a few more. There are 2 food storage containers, one to the north, one to the south of the tent camping area, for those who don't have some kind of hard-sided vehicle to store their food in. Since it is bear country, they require that. So if you don't store your food inside your vehicle or a hard-sided camper, you must store it inside one of these 2 storage containers. So just past the tent area and main restrooms, you got a stretch of gravel road here with no sights, but a beautiful walk along the lake. And to the left you have trees and more of the river of grass behind there. Yes, you can see the water back there. So you really are truly surrounded by water in the campground. I guess that's pretty much true anywhere within Big Cypress and Everglades. So from the little cypress swamp there, we enter the backside of Monument Lake Campground. So this is where it is all angled towards your RVs. What a great view. If you was camping here in the back, just straight across the lake. So we're by campsites 18, 19, 20 here, and you can see that every site seems to be separated by a couple of trees, just to add a sense of privacy. So we're now at the northeast corner of the campground. And of course you can see all the grasslands, maybe some little hammocks in the distance before we hang a right. I'm not sure what you can catch in Monument Lake, but fishing is allowed. So on the east side of the campground, you've got the nicer RV sites that have actual gravel lanes to park in. Obviously, generators are allowed during certain hours. Not quite as many trees and as much shade on this side, but still, once again, you're here for that beautiful view of Monument Lake right in front of you. So here in the middle of the east side of the campground is the Johns. So over here near sites 37, 38, 39, 40 is a nice kind of grassy park area that kind of juts out into the lake a little bit. It's like we've got some killdeer. I was about to say there are supposed to be gator in this lake. We haven't seen any, but something. Yep, there he is. See him, Caden?
Yep, I see him.
So yep, right there's your evidence that the gators like to come up here in this grassy area. So you notice we startled the gator before it startled us and went straight into the water. We'd never even seen it until it was already jumped in the water. So I'm guessing they just kind of hang out along the sides here. The campground actually has a section roped off here with signs about gators, so I'm assuming this is kind of their hangout spot. But we've been here for 4 days now, and that's the actual first gator that we've seen here in the pond in the campground. So that pretty much brings us back to the front end of the campground. Our first night at camp was a bit chilly for South Florida and rainy. These swifts were hunkering down and enduring the weather. But when the sun comes out, they put on quite a show flying over the water. The night sky here is pretty amazing as well. Oh, there is some light pollution on the eastern horizon coming from the Miami area, but overall, it's a beautiful place for stargazing. So this, of course, is our tent site. You can see the Monument Lake there in the distance, hiding catfish. But we are camped right up against the sea of grass. This grass directly behind our tent is full of water. So you are literally camping in the swamplands. I mentioned that we chose this campground due to its central location to features that we wanted to visit. So you're probably wondering what those features are. Within Big Cypress, there are 2 scenic loop roads that the campground is conveniently located in between, that offers lots of wildlife viewing. The campground is also located between the 2 visitor centers, the Nathaniel P. Reed Visitor Center to the west and the Oasis Visitor Center to the east. There's a few nature trails in the area as well as boardwalks, and also several businesses that offer excursions into the swampland via airboats or swamp buggies. There are several waterways and rivers for canoeing and kayaking, and you're not far away from some of the best of Everglades National Park as well. To the east is the Everglades Shark Valley that features tram tours and bike rentals, and to the west is Everglades City, where you can book tours of the 10,000 Islands area or kayak the Everglades Wilderness Trail. There are several state parks and state forests in the region. It really is an outdoorsman's paradise.